Hey, um, the new 2024 Dungeons and Dragons rule set got released today. I was planning on doing this earlier today, and D&D Beyond never did finish their maintenance update when I wanted to go live, so I had to postpone it till really late. So I apologize for that. But I thought we could just jump in and take a look at the D&D Beyond character sheet and see what that process looks like now that they've released that. I did a quick look a little bit earlier, so I know what's coming up for the first couple of sections, but all this other stuff is going to be pretty new. So we're going to create a brand new character, which I already have one in mind. And then I'm going to open up a current character that I have from the 2014 core rulebook and see what happens when you update that and try to change it to 2024. Just to kind of see if anything weird or funky happens, just out of curiosity. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We are looking at... sorry, hold on one second. Yeah. We are going to go ahead and go standard, and I'm not going to hit beginner show help text just because I've done this multiple times, even though this is going to be 2024. We're just going to kind of just go right in and start building here just to see what happens. So, all right, we got character name. I'm going to call this Grom 2024. This is a character I already kind of had in my mind on what I was going to make, and just going to label it 2024 so that way I know which one it is. So all the sources, this part is relatively new. That they've actually released this, I think, last week, but they've categorized things into homebrew, expanded rules, and legacy. So default is going to be 2024. Legacy is going to be anything that was 2014 or before. Expanded rules are things like Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, stuff like that. So, and then the partnered content, dice rolling. I'm going to leave off optional features just because I want to see how everything looks with the original or with the 2024 rule set. So just to kind of play it safe, I'm going to go ahead and just like turn off everything. So that way everything is just using 2024. Dice rolling is fine. Milestone, we're not going to care about that. Use the prerequisites. Sure, we'll go ahead and keep that. Show level scaled spells. This is actually pretty new. Display and highlight available spells to cast with higher level spell slots. Interesting. So, oh, you know what? I bet you I know what this is. So in the usual character sheet, what happens is that you will see on your spell list, like if it's a level 2 spell and you're able to cast like level 5, that level 2 spell shows up 2, but also at the 3rd level, 4th level, 5th level, because it shows you like the damage that it can deal at those levels. So it looks like they may have actually given you the option to say, I don't want to see all those spells because it gets overwhelming. So I'm going to turn that off. So I'm going to curious. I'm going to see if that's what that is. I'm going to turn that off just to kind of get an idea. All this stuff is pretty standard, so we'll go ahead and hit next. And here's what's new, because in 2014, it started off with, race or species, and then class, and then abilities, and then background. So that's really interesting that the order, which fits like how they have it structured in the 2024 core rule set, it's really interesting to see like they've changed this around to this direction now. So, but yeah, here are the core rules for the classes, and this is all. If you've been in D&D Beyond before, you'll notice that there is a slight change with the symbols here. That's because this is the new updated one. Like as of right now, you don't see the older ones because I turned off the legacy one. So if I were to turn on legacy here, you guys will see legacy is down here, and you can see the classic icons and look that you're probably used to if you were doing the 2014 characters. So, so I'll leave a legacy on there for now, just so we can kind of look and compare between the two. I am going to make a druid, and this pretty much looks the same for the most part. It tells you all the information about becoming a druid. So it's like, yes, add that class. All right, and then this part is pretty much the same. So I can go to manage HP. I can still do the HP modifier, override HP. Let's do level 15, just to kind of see what kind of crazy stuff that we can do here, right? All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to core druid traits. We can expand that out. Oh, interesting. So this is the table that they have in the rule book that they just put right in here, so you can see, at a glance, all the information about the druid here. Interesting. That's actually pretty good. I like that. It takes up a little bit of space, but you can always collapse it as well too. So it is a little bit of a problem of like how much space is taking up, but I still like that. Let's see here. Animal handling and survival is what I'm going to choose for my character here. Spellcasting is going to tell you all the information about spellcasting here, cantrip, spell slots, prepared levels, spellcasting ability, how you can prepare your spells, and your druidic focus here too. Druidic, it's secret language, so we already kind of know that. Primal order, so this is new for 2024, is you can choose either between magician, which is more spellcasting focus, or warden, which is more of a like a warrior or fighter. So I'm going to actually pick warden because the character I have in mind is somebody that has like a military background. Because in 2014, I was actually multi-classing with this character. I was doing a multi-class with fighter and druid, but with 2024, with them having this option and allowing you to pick like warden, so that way you have someone that can, do some combat as a druid, I think it makes a lot more sense for Grom to be just completely druid now. So wild shape, that stuff is the same. Wild companion, as a magic action, you can expend a spell slot or use a wild shape to cast Find Familiar spell without material components. When you cast a spell in this way, the familiar is fey and disappears when you finish a long rest. This is what's interesting because I don't think they really describe like what fey is or mean in the book. I know that he is going to be Circle of the Moon because he gets those, bonuses for wild shape. Yeah, so you get these challenge ratings. Now it goes up to your Druid level divided by 3. So instead of a quarter, you're at challenge rating of 1 at level 3. Armor class, until you leave the form, your AC equals 13 plus your Wisdom modifier if that total is higher than the beast's AC. So the major change that they made here with wild shape is that with the beast, if you transform into a beast, you no longer take on that beast's hit points as like, it's not temporary hit points technically, but as a secondary pool of hit points. They actually changed that now in 2024 to say that you just get temporary hit points equal to your Druid level. Circle of Moon is 3 times your Druid level. So that's going to be kind of a little bit of a debuff, but for armor class, they actually give you a buff for that in your wild shape. So I think that's kind of a good trade-off in my opinion. Circle of the Moon spells. You have all this stuff here. In addition, you can cast these spells while you're in wild shape form. So that was something that you couldn't do as a druid until you were class or level 18, I think. But now when you get these prepared spells, you can cast these spells while you're in wild shape. So that's good. Ability score improvement. I am just going to pick something random here. And again, they have the core rules. So this is all from the new book, and then we got legacy down here as well too. So it looks like they have everything. Oh, interesting. Hold on here. Ritual caster. Oh, did they get rid of ritual caster? No, they do. They just don't have it separated out by class now. So that's interesting. Okay, so for my person, great weapon master, maybe savage attacker is what I'll do here. Once per turn, when you hit a target with a weapon, you can re-roll the damage twice and then use either total. Yep. Okay, so I'll do that one. Let's see. Wild Resurgence, improve circle forms. Elemental Fury. This is a new feature that I absolutely love. Check this out sometime if you ever do a druid, but for Primal Strike, since mine's going to be more martial, since it's a warden, once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with attack roll using a weapon or beast form's attack in wild shape, you can cause the target to take an extra 1d8 cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. You choose when you hit, so I love that. All right, now choose another feat. I'm trying to remember what was a good one for a druid who is wild shaping. Oh, gosh, I can't even remember. I thought there was one. Not Shadow Touch. Musician. Charger. Heavily armored. Alright, I'm going to do Magic Initiate Druid. Get 2 cantrips, a level 1 spell, and then you can change these whenever you gain a new level, and you can take it more than once. I would definitely do Wisdom. And then you get to choose a spell. So let's go ahead and just do like the first. When you hit, that's cool. Yeah, I know. I love that. And I know they do that in Daggerheart. Like the druid get to do that as well too. So I don't know if like they swapped ideas or whatnot. That seems really interesting, and I doubt that it's like it's unique to them necessarily. But I really do like a lot of the changes with druids. I know the wild shape thing is probably a little bit of a disappointment for some people, but I think they kind of balance that out by improving the armor class so you can kind of stay in wild shape a little bit longer if you wanted to. So okay, let's just pick the first 3 that shows up here, so that way we can kind of just go through this and then choose a spell. Let's do Animal Friendship. All right, and then we got Moonlight Step. Oh, this is the one where you can magically transport yourself. I remember this. As a bonus action, you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. You have advantage on your next attack roll you make before the end of this turn. That's really cool. So, and you can do this while you're wild shaping. So that's really funny. I enjoy that. And you can use this a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier. Yep. And then you can also regain uses by expending a level 2 plus spell slot for each use you want to restore. So that's going to be a new thing that I think a lot of people are going to see, is that you're going to have options to restore some things after like a short rest if you if in certain circumstances. So a lot of classes will say like, oh, you get one spell slot back or one expended spell slot back after a short rest, or they give the option to expend a spell slot or something in order to get that ability option for your turn or something like that. So this is one of those examples there, is that if you're in a pinch and you have a level 2 spell slot but you really want to use Moonlight Step, then you can do that. So all right, level 12 ability. I forget what skill expert and skilled is. The ability score increase. Skill proficiency. Yeah, and then what is skilled? Oh, interesting. So if you want to be able to like... Okay, so if you wanted like an option for proficiencies and tools. Okay, let's go ahead and do skilled expert. And we are going to choose... We'll choose wisdom again. We'll do that. Skill expertise. Survival for sure. And then let's do perception here, just because I think it'll be fun. Lunar form, like Misty Step, but better. Exactly. Yes, that's exactly. They really upped Circle of the Moon with those changes, because that was the first thing I thought about, because now all druids can actually wild shape as a bonus action, which was like a benefit from Circle of the Moon. But with them like giving you some really cool options with Circle of the Moon, like being able to cast certain spells while you're in wild shape form, and something like Moonlight, what was it called? Moonlight Step? Yeah, Moonlight Step. Like I really love this this circle. So Lunar form, this is really cool. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 2d10 radiant damage to target you hit with a wild shape form's attack. When you use Moonlight Step, you can also teleport one willing creature, and that creature must be within 10 feet of you. So that's a really cool feature as well, too, that you can bring somebody on your party with you. Circle the Stars I was looking at earlier, and Circle the Stars actually looks really cool. I can't remember if it was something that was from the previous... In fact, I know it's from like 2014, but like maybe a different source book or something like that, because I think the new class that they did for Druid is Circle the Sea. But Circle the Stars is really cool too. Like when I was reading it, I was like, I need to create a character with that subclass, because I think that one just has some really cool like potential cool storytelling opportunities, and just really neat with some of the things that you can do. So all right, then extra damage. Okay, so that's level 15. So I got all that. All right, and then let's go ahead and manage hit points. Yeah, it's at 78. Okay. See, here's the confusing thing, is that once you hit manage hit points, it is going to change based on the ability score. So you have to like remember to go back for that. So let's go ahead and do spells here real quick. And again, I'm just going to just do like the first few just to kind of get this going here. Okay. And then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3. One. Yeah, one. Oh. One. Okay, I'll go back to third and move that. And eighth. There we go. Okay. So got my spell, so let's go ahead and pick background. So this is the one where they've changed it to where the ability scores are tied to the background. I'm not a huge fan of this, but whatever. See, I think... See, here's the thing, is that the background for my character would be a soldier. And it doesn't tell you, like, the information ahead of time. I wish they would do that. Oh, Savage Attacker. I actually already have that for my class feat. Let me see the ability score that I can pick from here. Let's do a 2 and 1. Huh. Let's do Wayfarer. Oh wait, no, I don't want to do Wayfarer. I always get that mixed up. Oh, Guide. I think Guide is the one that Druids pick a lot. Far from Sunlands. Yeah, I think this is a common one. Choose a skill. I think I could be completely wrong. I'm just kind of picking up stuff right now. I don't think I did nature, so I'll go ahead and do nature. This feature already exists on your character. Yeah, this is the thing that's going to be. Now, I'm doing level 15, so it's not going to be like that crazy necessarily, but it's still... no, I got a Savage Attacker there. Magic Initiate Druid. Okay, so let me go ahead and just pick a different one for this. I'll just do Great Weapon Master. That's what we'll do. Wait, hold on. What was this say? Prerequisite level 4 and strength have to be a plus a 13. Oh, that's right. I'm always doing this with the martial class. Okay, so I just need to make sure that my strength is at a 13 when I do my abilities here. Okay, so choose an option. Magic Druid. Yep, we'll do Wisdom. And we'll just do the same thing here. We're going to pick the first. Oh, wait, hold on. You would think it would just have removed it from that as an option. I picked it, so that's weird. All right, and the ability scores. Yep, we'll do that. And we'll do Wisdom for 2. I'm really going to go up in the Wisdom part of it. And then we'll do Constitution. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this other stuff just because that seems to be pretty similar to before. Species, so Grom is going to be an orc. So here's what's really interesting is... half orc. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. All right, so we're going to pick orc. And it's going to tell you all the information about orc and what your abilities have. So I could take dash action as a bonus action. And then when I do, I gain a number of temporary hit points equal to my proficiency bonus. You can use this trait in a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a short rest or a long rest. Oh, okay, gotcha. So you can't just do it all the time. And then the relentless endurance stayed the same. There's something that orcs had in 2014 where if you roll a nat 20, you get to roll an extra damage die for that too. So they just removed that. Okay, got that. Let's go ahead and go to abilities. Let's roll the dice on this and see what happens here. I want to see if they just pretty much do the same thing here. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, not great, but okay. Oh, 10. Okay. I thought it was lower than that. Oof. Man, these are not looking... Oh my gosh. Yeah, thank you for giving me something here. Yeah, I gotta buff my wisdom. I gotta See, here's the problem is one of my... All right, I don't want to do this necessarily, but I am going to because otherwise it's going to mess up some stuff here with the feed I took. So this is one of the challenges with doing this sort of thing, right? I roll that one. These are better. Okay, these are a little too good. I was not expecting it to be like really good like that. Come on, give me one. That's not great. Ugh. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this at wisdom. This one will be dex. This one will be con. This one will be strength, charisma, and intelligence. Apply. See, my wisdom is at 18, which should go up even more because I know I picked wisdom for a couple of other things too. Okay. So we got that. We will go ahead and use this, and then the guide. I could use 50 gold points and do it that way. Okay, so all this stuff looks similar to what they had before. And then we got what's next. All right, and we'll hit view character sheet and see what this looks like. Oh, yeah, Beyond 20 stuff. Okay, yeah, so this did go up, this did go up. So that's interesting. So when you put in your ability scores, it's not pulling in your, like, other things that you put in, like your feats and stuff like that. When you increase your wisdom or when you increase an ability, stuff like that, it seems like it doesn't get applied when you're doing the ability score section. So that's one thing I wish they do, so that way you're not going in thinking like you're underneath and then you go in, you're like, oh, wait a second, how that happened? But yeah, it's really interesting. Now, one thing I didn't notice before with spells, my armor class is only 11. Oh, you know what? Because I bet you I need to do that, and then I could do this if I wanted to. Man, yeah, that's not a lot. That's not very high for level 15 Druid, is it? For spells, this is what's really interesting here. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so I know. Oh, this is actually pretty nice. I like the concentration and ritual ones that you can like look at. Oh, that's cool. When I'm on my D&D Beyond app, it actually, in addition to all this information, it'll tell you if it's like a legacy spell or not. Obviously, it's not showing it here because all these are updated. So that's probably why it's not showing it now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, that scene, you know, it seems like that's about the same. Nothing has really changed a whole lot with that. Wild shape is only 3 per long rest. Interesting. Oh yeah, then you can use the wild resurgence. Oh, interesting. So if I am in, then I gain 45 temporary hit points at level 15. Yeah. See, wild shaping into an animal is really beneficial for that. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So now that I've done that, let's go ahead and go to, I made a Grom 2014. So this is one I already created using the 2014 stuff. So let me go ahead and see what happens if I'm like, hey, I'm going to turn all this stuff off and just do 2024 and see what crazy wild stuff we get from that. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and turn stuff off. Yep, we'll use this. Oh, that was the other thing. Is when you go to spells. Yes. Okay. So I will say this is something that I like now. Is that you don't get a whole long list of all the spells at the different levels here. Okay. So let me show you what I mean by that. So right now, when I go to 6th, 7th, 8th level, it only shows like one spell for each of those categories. That's because they now give you the option to turn off listing the spells at greater damage, because it gets, pretty lengthy when you have that in there. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I'll go back here, show level scaled spells. Let's go to our character sheet. And voila. Yeah, see, look at that. Boom, 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 boom. I am a fan of that. Now, that's not going to be great for new players necessarily if they turn that off. So I like that they give you the option, though, in case you're somebody that you know how that works and you just, click on it and read that real quick to see, okay, how many levels I have to do that. But for a new player who may not know that, leaving it turned on as an option is good too. So that way they don't forget about that when they're, playing it for the first time. So I really like that part. That was a good suggestion. Good thing that they updated. I think that definitely helps a lot. So I'm assuming that when you turn it off, you can still click on the spell and be like, oh, I wonder how much damage that can do at such and such level. So, like, for example, let's do, what was it one? Call Lightning. Call Lightning is a big one, right? Yeah, so level 3. And then 1d10 cast outdoors, the story condition. The damage increased by a D10 for each spell slot level above 3. Yeah, so that's really easy. I like this change. I really appreciate them doing that. Again, for new players, having it turned on so that way it does show up for each level is going to be very, very helpful for them, and I like that. But it gets very long and scrolly when you turn it on. And so if you're somebody who have played this before, you kind of know how that works. Having the option to turn it off so that way you don't have to scroll as much is a great choice. So I'm glad they did that. Okay, so let's go to Grom 2014 here. Class. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, let me turn off Homebrew. Interesting. Expanded rules, legacy. See, I don't have legacy turned on. Oh, so if you created it in 2014, it doesn't look like. Oh no, here we go. Okay, classes from 2024 and 2014 core rules are not designed to be multi-class together. Yep. Okay. All right, so let's see how this will work then. So let me go ahead and hit that and hit confirm. Hit that and hit confirm. And now you go into this and it takes you straight back to what you were doing before. Interesting. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and do Druid. I'm just going to keep it at first and just kind of go through this for right now, because I just want to see what the differences are here. Primal Order. Again, I'm going to do Warden for this guy. Choose Origin Background. Okay, so it's giving me the Soldier Legacy by default, and then it's giving me the other options here. Okay. So I think in terms of how this works, I think it works, right? I think some people are going to be perturbed by the fact that you have to kind of delete what you had in 2014 in the character creation process to get to the 2024 class. And so if they're like level 10, they might be like, there were things I wanted to keep. I can't remember that. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal because they're going to have to like adjust things anyway. So I think that still works well for this. So that way it kind of contains and keeps your 2014 class unless you actively go in and delete the 2014 stuff. So that way it pulls up the 2024 option. So let's do, I did guide on that one, I think already. Let's do noble, sage, sailor, scribe, soldier, wayfarer. Yeah, let's do wayfarer and just see what happens. And no, I always do that. I did hermit last time. Yeah, okay, we'll do this. All right. Randomly, we'll just do disguise kit and get the healer feat. Ability scores. So wisdom. Okay, this is a good one for druids. And then constitution. Oh wait. Oh, is it going to just let me like do both of those? Bump one up by 3? I'm kind of curious now. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me see if it bumps it up by 3. That's a way around it, right? Okay, same thing here. If I want to change species, yep, it takes me to the 2024 one. Yep, we'll hit confirm. Yep. It totally just added it straight. That's very interesting. Okay. And then equipment, and then what's next? All right, so this is the part where I noticed on D&D Beyond earlier, and I know I went over my 30-minute promise, but we'll go through this, and then I'll be done here. When I go to spells... Oh, that's right, because I didn't pick any spells here. Ah, shoot. Oh, yeah, because I did all 2024 stuff. Crap, I should have shown you that. Oh, well, but anyways, what I was getting at, though, is that when you go to your 2014 character sheet now and you have spells, you're going to see things marked as legacy spells. So that's actually a really easy way to see, which spell you have for your character sheet. So yeah, that actually seemed pretty seamless. I think there was a couple of things I can see being problematic. The biggest thing is that the ability scores are going to be a problem, right? Because with the ability scores, they didn't update all the other feats that you had selected. And so when you got to applying the score to the different abilities, it looked like the numbers were lower than it actually ends up being when you go to your character sheet. So I wish it could like pull in the information you were filling out and added it that way, but who knows? There's probably a reason for it. No idea. But yeah, because I can imagine someone like you still have to kind of like manually track that, be like, okay, what else did I add that on there? And it seems like the only modifiers that applied are the ones from your background. So if you're taking feats that allows you to bump your different abilities, then you want to track that. So that way, like what it ends up being when you hit the character sheet button. So anyways, yeah, that actually seemed like a lot better than what people thought it was going to be a week ago. I know I was really concerned about it. But yeah, this is actually a pretty good result, I think, in my mind. So, yeah.